How's it sounding? It's okay? It's good? Keep going?
Sul nib è tutto flat?
Sì.
Prova su tutti e due.
Same with the kick drum. I could start here, and then louder.
Okay.
Oh, you're great, man. You're really great.
Thank you.
You're genuinely great. You're a great engineer, and these are great sounds.
And Sabino, this is, from what I understand, this is the first time you're now hearing the drum sounds that you created, now recorded from that. So what do you think? Do you like it?
It's amazing.
I think it's amazing too. It's unbelievable.
Thank you.
Tutto posto.
Yeah.
Grazie. You know, when you study the history of drums in particular, the drums were put together and kind of invented in America, even though the bass drum and the snare drum came from Europe. And the pivotal starting point for the drum set was in 1910 when the bass drum pedal was invented, because before that we had a snare drum and a bass drum. Now with a pedal, separate instruments. Now you could play it as one unit. That was the beginning of the drum set. So we come to today and to this instrument, and basically, to me, I've always loved myself electronic drums. I've been playing them since the early 80s in different configurations, but until now, you haven't really had a drum set that really could simulate the sound of acoustic drums. And now we have that with this instrument, with the Mark drum. And you know, we've been proving it now in the last few days by playing, and it really uses very high quality drum samples. And to me, this means it's the beginning for me of a new era in terms of creativity, because now I can approach the drums from all the influences I have, but mainly as a jazz drummer. But now it's a chance to use a new instrument in a more creative way. We're not dealing, it can be used for MIDI, but it's really about the samples, and it's really about blending this new electronic drum sound with other electronic sounds and acoustic instruments. And I think it's a new frontier, and I can't wait to continue to grow. And I think this instrument in particular is going to pave the way for drummers to really be able to come up with some new ideas and play jazz-influenced music with a very contemporary, you know, modern approach. One thing about these drums, the drum heads, we've all seen mesh heads, but these happen to have a lot of rebound. And for me, the way that I play in particular, this is it's the easiest drum for me to play of any surface, including any practice pad, because I studied for years with Joe Morello, and his method, as you may have seen, anybody who's interested in drums, is a very natural method. And I utilize the rebound and allowing the sticks to rebound back. So the bounce is so easy for me to play. So it's a very, some people have problems with this type of a surface, or at least the old, harder surfaces, but for me it's very easy. So it's a perfect instrument for me to play. So it sounds great and easy to play, and I just thought I'd mention that in terms of playability, it's really amazing.
Jeff, what is the tone for you?
Well, for me, tone is everything. I am fortunate that I play the Mark bass amp, because for many years I didn't accept endorsements from other companies, well-intended, kind people. They offered me an opportunity to use their amps, and I would try them. But the one thing that I needed desperately and that I didn't get was tone. In fact, I believe it's the one element that is the most important of all amplifiers, because everybody knows that all the amplifier makers in the world make great amps. Everybody does. But there's this one distinguishable issue that I found here with my Mark bass amps, which is tone. Tone to me is everything. It represents the flavor and the essence of a musician. When I was approached by Marco to try his amplifier, Marco sent me a 15-inch standard Mark bass 15-inch combo cabinet just to try out. And I fell in love with it so deeply that when he was offering me to build any amp that I wanted to play through, I said, no, I wanted my 15. With one little alteration. I took the tweeter out. Because tweeter, for me, is a sound I felt is a little artificial to my ear and didn't help the overall tone of my bass in a performance. So what I got was a 15-inch speaker. That 15-inch speakers cover all ranges. I noticed that 10s are a tight speaker, but the bottom wasn't warm to my ear. I noticed that 15s allow for highs and lows, and that a tweeter, quite frankly, to my ear again, wasn't necessary because you could produce a lot of highs out of a 15-inch cabinet. Plus, I could put it in my car, so if I had a gig. So, quite frankly, the greatest tone that I have ever heard from an amplifier to today. Danny and I were recording today some music for Marco and for Mark Bass. And the first thing everybody said in the control room is, wow, listen to that bass tone. Because the tone growls. It's warm. It sits in this slightly lower area. I don't like a whole lot of treble, so I tape my pot in a studio. I always have, because I play with the knob. So I put the tape on it so I wouldn't have to touch the knob. So I always have this consistent tone. And the tone is centered like the center of your brain. It's this gorgeous, impactful tone. I don't even have the words, as you can see. I love this amp more than I've ever loved it, and I've always loved it. How's that for a mouthful? So I will always play a Mark bass amp because actually Marco also has customers that are not jazz players like me. There's many rockers and funkers and slappers. So I've heard from the slappers that they love his tone. From those amplifiers, he just came up with something. Forgive me for saying this right now in front of people, but you came up with something that I don't think existed in music, and I've been around for a while, just like Danny, and you came up with something that is so musically important that I will always be pleased to announce and discuss my love and support of these amps. It's not for any other reason other than the love of the music that I'm a Mark bass endorser forever, and I am as grateful for the opportunity because you saved my career. Sounds like a medical show, doesn't it? You know, you saved my life. I couldn't find the tone. Now I can each and every time that I play.
If I could only just find the beat, I'd be happy.
I think to say, I like to share my passion with you, that we have the same passion for the music. So that's very important.
Yeah, that's true. As a builder, he is a musician's builder.
Yeah, that's why these exist. I mean, this is a whole new sound, a whole new instrument, so it's great.
And that's your musical soul. I mean, you're the first manufacturer that I meant who supported the musicians. What do you want? What kind of tone can I get you? Even before you would look to see how it would sell. And of course, one wants to sell amplifiers and drums, but your first comment, I never forgot it, was, what do you want? Yeah. And that said to me that you're a special person in this industry.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.